Chapter 1. The sun wasn't a friend in 1974. It was a monster waiting for a cage. Engineers in Australia drafted a terrifying blueprint. A city made of glass, steel, and madness. This wasn't about green energy or saving Earth. The core fact is far more disturbing. They were building a massive, continental thermal cannon. Imagine thousands of mirrors aiming at one point. The heat generated could vaporize solid granite instantly. Why did the government want this lethal power? The archives remain silent, but the physics don't lie. One alignment error would incinerate an entire district. We aren't talking about a simple power plant. This was a city designed to be a weapon. A shimmering trap hidden in the red dust. The outback nearly became a scorched graveyard. Did they lose control during the secret trials? The sand in the north still feels wrong. Buried deep, the glass shards tell a story. A story of a sun that refused orders. They wanted to play God with solar radiation. The cost was almost the entire continent. Chapter 2. The red desert air stays perfectly still. 10,000 mirrors face the rising sun. Massive steel structures track the morning light. Dust covers every curved glass surface. This was the silent heartbeat of 1974. Heavy iron gears rotate with mechanical precision. Engineers monitor the growing thermal intensity. Dark shadows stretch across the jagged dunes. Silence defines the morning in the outback. Every mirror locks onto the central tower. Light becomes a focused, lethal weapon now. The atmosphere vibrates with invisible energy waves. Cold concrete meets the burning solar glare. No wind disturbs the mechanical solar array. This grid was built for eternal power. Gold light reflects off the rusted frames. The machine is waking up very slowly. Thousands of heliostats tilt in perfect unison. A low hum vibrates through the ground. Hydraulic fluid pulses through the iron veins. Scientists check the liquid sodium flow rates. The central receiver begins to glow white. Solar beams converge at a single point. Heat haze distorts the flat desert horizon. Metal expands under the extreme solar pressure. The control room smells of ozone today. Analog needles jump across the green gauges. Pressure builds within the primary cooling pipes. The sky turns a pale, bleached blue. Every mirror acts like a burning eye. The desert floor begins to turn glass. This was the start of the disaster. Power levels cross the safe operating limit. The automated system ignores the manual override. Light becomes a physical, crushing weight now. The architecture groans under the thermal load. A silent apocalypse starts in the sand. Chapter 3. Brutalist concrete blocks dominate the desert floor. These windowless slabs reject the solar fire. Thick lead shutters protect the inner sanctum. Every angle serves a specific cooling purpose. Geometric shadows cut through the red dust. This city was a fortress of stone. No would survive the intense thermal rays. Raw concrete absorbs the ambient desert heat. Deep ventilation slits allow the earth to breathe. The architecture feels ancient yet very futuristic. Heavy steel doors seal the laboratory wings. Scientists live inside these cold, gray bunkers. Daylight is a threat to every resident. Survival depends on the thickness of walls. The sun dictates the entire city layout. Corridors stay dark and quiet at noon. This was the ultimate survivalist dream project. Every structure mimics a massive heat sink. Concrete remains the only shield against light. The city is a silent, stone machine. The central tower rises like a monolith. Heat tiles cover the entire exterior surface. Ceramic layers prevent the steel from melting. Pipes carry molten sodium to the turbines. This was a masterpiece of cold engineering. The basement levels hold the massive batteries. Thick copper cables weave through the floors. Every room features a heavy blast door. The air stays sterile and chemically filtered. Artificial lights flicker in the long hallways. Engineers work in total, windowless isolation here. The city creates its own internal climate. Outside, the world is a burning furnace. Inside, the brutalist stone remains freezing cold. This contrast defined the daily life here. No decorations exist on the exterior walls. Functionality dictates every single architectural line used. The design was meant to last forever. Chapter 4. The steel structures groaned loudly. Heat warped the heavy beams. Massive turbines began to vibrate. Bearings sprayed blackened industrial oil. The concrete walls started cracking. 1970s analog needles pinned red. Thermal limits were completely exceeded. Liquid sodium leaked from pipes. Thick chemical steam filled corridors. The central tower glowed white. It looked like melting wax. Cooling fans shattered into shrapnel. Protective lead shutters fused shut. High-pressure vents hissed violently. The air smelled like ozone. Control panels melted into puddles. Every safety protocol failed instantly. Screws popped with sonic force. The internal core turned incandescent. Silence was replaced by screaming. The metal structure absorbed fury. Radiant heat burned the sensors. Thousands of mirrors tracked perfectly. The focus remained too tight. Engineering dreams became waking nightmares. Support columns bowed under stress. The basement flooded with fire. Energy output surged beyond measure. Circuit boards charred and smoked. The machine reached critical mass. Light became a solid wall. Every valve stayed welded shut. Atmospheric distortion rippled the site. The desert sky turned violet. High-frequency tremors shook foundations. Total systemic failure was inevitable. The brutalist titan began dying. Its heart was burning white. Chapter 5. A solar flare hit Earth. The sky turned neon orange. Atmospheric gases ionized with light. Mirrors lost their digital targets. Beams swept across city streets. Concrete buildings ignited like paper. Asphalt roads bubbled and smoked. Human shadows burned into walls. A pillar of fire rose. The city became a star. 1974 news headlines were scorched. Radios broadcasted only static noise. Satellite photos showed a blinding dot. Australia faced a solar nightmare. The desert floor turned glass. Every structure slumped into ruins. Oxygen burned out of air. The thermal wave expanded rapidly. Nothing survived the direct focus. The horizon dissolved into light. Energy levels reached impossible peaks. Electromagnetic pulses killed the grid. Communication lines melted into gold. The Northern Territory was silent. Mirrors acted like giant lenses. Every house turned into furnace. The central eye focused inward. The entire complex vanished fast. Only black fused glass remained. Gravity seemed to bend light. Time-lapse showed total geometric erasure. The experiment ended in fire. Dust turned into white ash. Wind carried the bitter soot. The sun reclaimed its power. Scientists vanished into the glare. The unbuilt dream died screaming. Chapter 6. Today, we talk about solar energy as salvation. But the Australian dream was a jagged beast. Every utopia has a shadow as long as it's light. The sun gives life, but it demands blood. A warning from 1974 about human arrogance. We tried to capture a star for our greed. The star simply laughed and burned the cage. The desert remains silent, but the sand remembers. No mirrors are left to reflect the glare. But the heat never truly leaves the red dust. The blueprints are locked in a dark vault. Some secrets are better left in the shadows. The outback is a graveyard of bright ideas. Don't trust the light in the deep desert. It might be the eye of a sleeping god. The sun is watching, and it never forgets. The 1974 plan was a bridge to nowhere. A bridge built of glass and doomed to melt.